YouTube fish fam, what's going on? Trying to make this quick. I want to adjust my lighting to be a little bit more icy. I was running the tuna blue preset on the Kessel A360x. As you can see, the light just jumped back to the preset. What I'm going to try to do is go in here to the Kessel controller, set my own program. Now I went on YouTube, I went on BRS, I went on Reef to Reef, I went on Nano Reefs, trying to find some presets. The tuna blue presets are down here. Disregard the times on the left. That's my new time schedule, but that's the tuna blue presets for color, intensity, violets, reds, and greens. I am going to be changing the presets to these ones down here at these times. And from looking on BRS's recommendations for a color program similar to the AB program, they recommend 20% color, 100% violets, 20% red, 0% green, and 100% intensity. So they did recommend to lower the red a bit to prevent algae growth. So on my reds, I'm planning to change them to 1, 3, 9, 8, 3, and 1. I don't really like too much red because I think it promotes algae growth, but it also unlocks different corals or colors in the corals. So let's see if I could show you how to do this. I got 9 minutes on my phone to do this, so pretty much need to go to hit the center button, go to programs, hit the center button. I'm going to go to add a new one. I'm going to go to quick set. So I'm going to go to the first. It asked me to change the time, so we're going to change the time. Man, I wish I had a tripod. Let's see if I can just. Apologize, I don't have a tripod. It's kind of hard looking through the phone. Back to controller, so I'm going to change that to 9 o'clock. Scroll over again to get to the color, and then you're going to hit the center button. I'm going to drop that down to 0. Intensity, hit over. I'm going to go to 1. This is going to be when the light first comes on. Then the rest I'm going to hit 0, 0, 0, 0. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the back button. Hit one more time. Bring me to this one. So that's on at 9. You can see the little dot here on the left is lit up. So I'm going to scroll over to the next dot, which is the next preset. I'm going to hit the center button. I'm going to put the time in as 10 o'clock. Scroll over till you hit color. I'm going to hit the center button. I'm going to drop the color down to 5% or 5. I'm not sure if that's a percent or just the value. Intensity will be 30. Violets, I'm going to bring them up to 30. Reds, I'm going to put it at 1, and green 0. So that's how I like it. I'm going to go back, hit back again. Go to the next bullet point over, hit the center button. Next time stamp is 12. Scroll over till you see color, hit the center button. So I'm going to set the color to 12. This is not numbers I found. I'm just going off of BRS's recommended overall intensity, and I'm slowly ramping the colors to reach that intensity. So I'm going to set the intensity to 60% or 60. I'm going to set the violets to 60. And I've kind of used the preset tuna blue as a baseline for the curve. And I just adjusted the values to how I want them to ramp up. So I got the reds at 3, greens at 0. I'm going to back up, go to the next bullet point, hit enter. The next time frame is going to be 2 o'clock. Scroll over. So color, I want it down to 20. It's going to give me that icy blue. Intensity, I want it at 100. Violets, I want at 100. Reds, I'm going to go ahead and put it up to 9. BRS is recommending the peak at 20, but they did recommend that you tone it down a little bit to prevent algae growth, so I'm going from 20 down to 9. Greens, I'm going to leave it at nothing. And like I said, this is simulating the AB program just off BRS's video. I'll try to drop a link to the video. So I'm going to go back, go to the next bullet point, hit enter. Next time frame is 4 o'clock. So I have the lights coming on at 9 a.m. and turning off at 9 p.m. So scroll over, 4 o'clock. I want to keep the same settings as at 2. So 20, 100, 100. Red, I'm going to drop it by 1 point to 8, from 9 to 8. Oops, hard to look at the phone. Green, I'm going to keep 0, so I'm going to go back, go to the next bullet point, hit enter. The next setting will be at 6 p.m. Scroll over. I'm going to start ramping the color down to 15 from 20. Intensity, I'm going to go with 60%. If you guys have a better recommendation for a color program, please leave a comment or a link or something. I'm not a par or per genius or anything like that. I'm just did some research this morning and found that this is what BRS recommends as a good starting point for a similar schedule to the AB schedule. So I went ahead and went back. So now we are at 8 p.m. Scroll over. Intensity, our color was going to be 8%, ramping down. Intensity, I'm going to drop it down to 30. Violets at 30. Reds at 1. Green at 0. Back up, go to the last bullet point. We'll set the time to 9. Scroll over. I'm going to bring the color all the way down to 0. I'm about to run out of time. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. So I've been having issues with space on my phone. So we're back. This is the second attempt at this. We are back here at the final shutdown of the light. There's the curvature, the intensity. I went ahead and ran a preview for you guys. I'm not going to do that this time, just to see what happens. Basically what happened was I saved it, and then I went back, clicked on the preset. Let me see here. let's go ahead and show you guys a preview. So that's the BRS AB similar cycle or light program. It's going through a little demo right now to show the intensity. But since I am increasing the intensity from 60% to 100%, I need to put it into an acclimation mode. So in order to do that, I'm saving it again. Apologize, I don't have a tripod, so now I'm going to go back to the program screen. I'm going to scroll over to acclimation. I want to acclimate for 4 days because this light has already been on the tank. I'm going to do 35% intensity. I feel comfortable with that. I'm going to go down to quick set 2. And we're going to go down and save that. So now I'm just going to hit back. I'm going to go back one more time until I get to the Programs tab. I'm going to scroll over to the dashboard. I'm going to hit Dashboard. So right here under the Tuna Blue, you can see the next one over is Tuna Sun. 10 volt. I want to be on Tuna Blue. It's currently on Lunar Cycle. I want to be on preset Tuna Blue, but I want to actually be under acclimation. So currently running on 1 day for a period of 4 days, and that should be all you have to do. So the screen should time out and kick back to the dashboard. I don't know how long it takes. I could hit back, but I don't want to hit back this time because I want to make sure that it stays on the setting. It seems like it's been rocking the setting for about 2-3 minutes, and then it shoots back to the Tuna Blue preset 1. I have no idea why it's doing that. I do notice on the screen here it does say demo on the top left. I have no idea why. I'm gonna have to play around with the settings. So just to recount what was just talked about. So this is the Tuna Blue preset. Disregard the numbers on the left. Those are my new made up numbers. So I took these numbers and used them as a guideline for curvature to BRS's recommended starting point for a similar program to the AB settings, the AB reef coral settings. So they recommend 20% color, 100% violet, 20% red, 0% green, 100% intensity. In a video they stated that this is a good starting point, but they would recommend lowering the reds a bit to prevent algae growth. The violets and everything are supposed to have an effect on coral growth. I'm not a scientist of lighting, but you know, they recommend between 400 and 480 nanometers or something, and the violet's supposed to be in that range. They had a BRS Investigates video where they did a whole talk. I will link it in the description, so if anybody wants to check it out. The only thing they did recommend, from what I've seen in the comments, was to lower the red to prevent algae growth. So based off these numbers, max intensity in the day, I came up with this program. So the lights are coming on at 9, and they're going off at 9. So I started out at 9 a.m., 0 color, 1% intensity, 0, 0, 0, 0 for violets, 0 for reds, 0 for greens. At 10 a.m., the colors come on at 5, intensity's 30, violets are 30, reds are 1. As you can see right now, it's showing the tuna blue on acclimation, colors at 3%, intensities at 18%. So hopefully this is the correct setting for the light. Step back, it does look a little bit bluer. The only thing I didn't like about the tuna blue preset setting was about midday, which comes around here in about an hour, is it was really white, like metal halide for my liking, like a 14K look. I like more of a 18 to 20K look. It's just a preference of mine. I know a lot of people don't like the blue lights. I love blue lights. But real quick, back to the schedule. So I'm not bouncing around. So at 10 o'clock, I have colors at 12%, 60% intensity, 60% violets, 3% reds, 0% greens. At 2 p.m., I ramp up to 20% color, 100% intensity, 100% violets, 9%, or I'm not even sure if that's 9, value of 9 red. 4 p.m. stays the same. I just bump the red down 1 bump. I might move that down to 7 or 6. At 6 p.m. I start ramping down to 15% color, or 15 color, 60% or 60 intensity, 60 violets, 3 reds, and 0 greens. At 8 p.m. I ramp down even further to 8 color, 30 intensity, 30 violet, 1 reds, and 0 greens. At 9 p.m. all values are at 0. So that's pretty much when the lights come on at 9, turn off at 9. Right now I am running an acclimation schedule of 4 days to adjust the corals to the tank. 4-day acclimation period. 35% of my new schedule will be the starting point. So out of 100% full intensity, it's only going to be running 35% of that on the first day, and it'll slowly ramp up to 100% over 4 days. There's not a lot of info and videos out there. I mean, there's a lot of reviews on the Kessel, but there's not a lot of make your own program videos. So I thought I'd play around with it today and see if I can get a little bit more blue spectrum out of my lights. So real quick, starting to get some diatoms on the rocks. The glass needs to be scraped a little bit. Got a little bit of diatoms on the power head or the wave maker, the Nero 5. See the A-fan. I got some purple monsters. Those are some, they were Krakatoas, but they're actually not Krakatoas. I forget the name, like Peach Passions or something. Those Zoas right there in the center are Tangerine Dreams, or Tangerine something, Mandarin Dreams maybe. That little red mushroom that's right there, I woke up this morning to the Nero 5 flashing and it was stuck in the propeller, so I pulled it out. There's the blue polyp bird's nest. I did lose a couple of tester acros. I just threw them in there from my old system on day 1. I just couldn't throw them in the trash, so I figured I'd just throw them in here. I've heard people throwing SPS in the system from day 1 and then, you know, taking a while to color back up and acclimate, but survive. So see the giant plate. Couldn't throw him away, so I just threw him in here. Quick shot at the sump. Running Skims filter socks. They are 300 micron. They are mesh, not felt. I change them out once a week for right now. I have the skimmer running, barely getting dialed in. at 4 p.m. I try to tune it a little bit at a time. So every day at 4 I come over here, turn the knob, see if the skim mate's in there a little bit wet, and trying to dial it down, get a little bit more darker skim mate. Not that it even needs it. Update to the ATO. I swapped out the 3152 Tunzi to the 3155 I had on my 155, just for peace of mind. That extra sensor, or the float sensor and the optical eye, they are on two different magnets. That was due to space constraints in the 150. I got all the apex probes cleaned, recalibrated, and installed. There in the back corner. The only one that kind of didn't work out, right behind the emergency standpipe there, was the temperature probe, and it would not fit in the probe holder, so I got it kind of down there. But other than that, lowered the light to 8 inches above the water, based off BRS's recommended height for a 24-inch cube tank, and based off their PAR video, which I will link in the description. Talks about, you know, the PAR basically just does an investigation on the whole light, puts it through different height tests, PAR overall performance of the light, you know, design, reliability, just their whole little investigative series. So I don't want to drag this out too much longer. We will see if the setting stays on there. Like I said, this is the third time this morning of me programming the light and trying to get it to run on the setting. Right now it's currently on acclimation mode. Here's a list of my numbers. So the first slot is color. Next slot is intensity. Next slot is violets, reds, and green. So like I said, I didn't find this anywhere. I came up with this on my own. If anybody wants to try it out, these numbers here are what BRS recommends as a good starting point for a program similar to the AB program, the Coral program. So the only thing they did recommend was lowering the reds to prevent algae growth. So this is the tuna blue preset. This is my curve that I typed in. We're going to see how it works. Might have to make some adjustments. I might throw a little bit of green in there. I might lower the red a little bit. Might drop the intensity depending on the color of the corals and the way they respond to the acclimation phase. So I will try to link BRS's video as well as another fellow's YouTube video that kind of helped me walk through the Kessel X controller and just how to navigate it and save your program that you have made to the controller to where it runs, as well as acclimation settings and lunar settings, which we will be getting into next week. So thanks everybody for watching. If you have this light, I hope it helped out. If you are not a subscriber and you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. If you got some comments, if you got a different curve that you think I should maybe try out, or something that's working for you, you know, drop a comment. This is mainly going to be an LPS softy tank on the bottom and maybe a few SPS colonies in the top upper parts of the tank. Mixed reef. So I'm blabbering. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you guys have a great Easter. Bye.